Okay, this is 37th Street Radiant event. Of course, we are out here hooking up with the best of the best interviews. And today we have another special guest. So, guest, please just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Ebby Bonareri. A model based here in Kenya, and currently I'm a stylist working at Vosti Look.
Yeah, so I would just like to start this by how did you start modeling? When did the interest start?
Modeling, I've always really loved modeling since I was a kid. I can recall back to when I was in class 3, actually class 1, yeah. Um, I was watching television and then I saw some models catwalking in the TV. And then I was like, I took keen interest in what they were doing. And I thought I would really, really love to take part in such an activity. But then I did not know what it was. Then at that time, I grew tall. I was very tall and slim. And then I became the tallest actually in our class. And with the way I was walking, people used to tell me, the elderly kids, you walk like a model. I did not know exactly what that was at that time. But then I kept on hearing that and about my physique being tall and very tiny. And I think when I was in class 5, I started knowing what that was. And it used to be awkward for me being taller than the rest of the kids. I remember I was in Currency Primary School, and when we were in the parade during the lineup, I was the only one who was taller than all the other kids, and it was awkward for me. I used to cringe myself so that I can be the same size as the rest of the children. So that's when the interest began. Then when I kept on pestering my mom to take me to an odd agency, to register me to an agency. So when I was in Form 2, um, my elder brother asked the Miss Universe back then which agency is best for modeling here in Kenya. And he was told Versatile. So when I came back for my holidays in Form 2, they took me to Versatile and registered me. And I never really got any job from them until after I was done with high school. Yeah, I got one advertisement from them, Safaricom Story Bambe. Cannot forget that it was fresh from high school, and here I am. I'm getting an ad, and that's where actually I kickstarted my modeling career well until to date.
Yeah, you started with a very big opportunity. There are guys who have been in the industry and they've never even got a chance to work with such a big brand. So you have said that you are just fresh from high school. Like how was it? Were you nervous? This is your first opportunity. Were you nervous? Maybe there were other experienced models and this is your first gig. Did you maybe feel intimidated or something like that?
Yeah, it was how do I put this? It was kind of intimidating. At the same time, it was exciting. And I wanted to prove myself that I can. I've always wanted this. This is the time, and I can do it. So because I wanted to prove myself that I just put on my A game. I went there. I remember that lady who was doing the adverts for Story Bambe, the main cast was someone who was trending in the socials because she was interviewed in TV and said kipi kifi instead of piki piki. So that is what made her got there, and I was like, hey, this is an opportunity for me. I'm being seen by the big shots. But because I was not a main cast, it was not that scary for me. I was just a plus. It was not that scary for me. So yeah, I took it positively. And since then, I've been continuing doing my thing.
Yeah, we have seen the rise of the internet all over the years, and I think you're the right person who can explain to this. There are very many things that are coming up, and I think you can explain to us, like, first of all, what is a runway model? What's a commercial model? And then we are also seeing Instagram models now. Like, what's that? You can explain to us.
All right. There are a few categories of models. The more than what you have stated. They are commercial models. Commercial models are people who do adverts, whom you see on billboards, on your TV screens, or even an advert in your socials. Those are commercial models. They do not necessarily have to have the right features, I can say, for a particular job. You can be any, it can be a plump person, depending on the description that the client wants to have. So yeah, that's for commercial modeling. Then we have part models. Part models include body part models. They're those who only model their faces. They're those who model their feet. They have really cute feet. I know you've seen such people. Those who model their hands, hand models, etc. So those are called part models. Who else? Editorial models. Editorial models are the models that you see in magazines and yeah, mostly in magazines or shoots. Those are the models that you see in semi Vogue, and you will not see them in any other place. So they are editorial models, picture models. Then there's high fashion. So this is now the real deal. This is where most of the people want to be at. High fashion models have you have to have specific features for you to make it into the high fashion industry. I cannot say myself that I have made it. It is a journey, and what really matters is how much effort you put into it. So for me, high fashion modeling, your requirements majorly are from 5'9" or 5'8", depending on the agencies that are stated. 5'9", 5'8". Have to be very skinny. I'm talking about bust 32 and below, or 34 and below. Waist size, I'm talking about 26 and below. Hip size, I'm talking about 35. Mainly 34 and below. So you have to be very skinny and tall for you to be a high fashion model. And some agencies currently are accepting models that are maybe beneath the specifications that are required. But if you check out what the industry, the people who have really made it in the industry, they have all those requirements. Then in high fashion in Kenya, I wouldn't say it's really doing well. It's a little bit down, but the agencies that are coming up, like AMPM, it's really nice for models who want to venture abroad. And if you are a high fashion model in Kenya, you wouldn't get really a very big platform. So it's always a very good idea for you to try to contact agencies which are abroad. You can do that by maybe sending in your Polaroids. Polaroids are your natural physique, the way you are. See my skin, it's clear. How to take care of your skin, natural. And you just wear maybe a tank top and a skinny, take pictures just like that. Those are Polaroid. Then you send them. And if you want more ideas on the Polaroid thing, maybe you can check it out on Instagram. There is a page called Scout Me. You can check it out. There are very many Polaroids in there. It can give you an idea, or you can just Google what's a model Polaroids, and it will give you the right way to take the pictures. Then, other than that, like fashion includes so many things. It includes runway, it includes editorial, it includes commercial. It's as if high fashion has included all the other aspects of modeling in it. Yes.
Yeah, you have talked about having an agency and then the agency contracts now a model. And I was just wondering, like you personally, can't you just maybe, is there a possibility of you just having a manager then getting the jobs, or is it a must for every model to work with an agency? Or what are the importance of working with an agency and just being independent?
So in Kenya, having a manager is really good. And if it's commercial modeling, here in Kenya, working with agencies, it's the best thing that you can do, because they are the ones to negotiate the prices for you and every other thing. That's for commercial modeling here in Kenya. And also having a manager will help you out in sourcing the jobs and other things. But if we are talking about international high fashion modeling, you cannot do minus an agency. Well, yes, you can be a freelance model, but you will have to be extremely good. Having an agency in international modeling is it's for your own benefit. It's for your own advantage, I would say, because they negotiate prices for you for every job that you can get. They source jobs for you. They cater for your every bill, the way you're going to get to the job site, your makeup artistry, everything that you need on that site. They cater for everything. Yes, that's what I can say.
Yeah, you talked about working with Safaricom in your early stages, and I also want to know if you're comfortable just naming some of the brands that you have been working for all over the years.
Oh, okay. Let me juggle my mind. Um, well, when it comes to commercials, I have worked with Safaricom. I think that is the only big commercial that I've ever done. The rest are just adverts in the socials. Then I've worked with several runway shows, Mercantile School. I've worked with Ajuma Limited. I've worked with wow, what's this called? I've forgotten the name, but I've worked with a person called Ingrid Awar. She's really good in training models and for catwalk and all. So I have done several of her shows as well. I've done African International Runway. What else? Yeah, those are some of the things that I can remember at the moment.
Yeah, as a model again, people really look at your fashion. So I would like to know, like for you, I think you also mentioned that you're a stylist. So I want to know, do you work with designers, stylists? You being a stylist, again, like, do you have conflict working with maybe designers or other stylists, because maybe you want something that looks this way and maybe they have another idea? Yeah.
Well, this is what I can say. My passion for modeling is what brought about styling, right? Because when you're a model, you have to look good. You have to play the part. Someone sees you and they see truly this is a model. And if you're not working, they also have to see the aspect of this is a model of duty. I'm sure you have seen those hashtags, model of duty. And that interest of modeling is what led to me wanting to know more about style. And I was lucky enough, I was working as a model for Vosti Look as a brand. I was working for them as a model. And then slowly, as I took interest, I started working for them. And they are the ones who have taught me about style, about everything that I need to know about dressing myself or dressing another person, depending on their physique and body styles. Then I have still worked with many brands other than Vosti Look when it comes to design and styling and fashion. I have worked with several stylists, several designers. And when you are at that space, Unless they ask for your opinion, keep it to yourself. Let them do their job. You're there to model. So do that, model. Unless they call you into style, then that will be your job. So unless they have asked for your opinion, I would simply suggest to keep to your lane. Yeah, so that there can be respect.
Yeah. So who is your style icon?
Pardon?
Who's your style icon?
The wife of Bieber. Hailey Bieber. Yeah, her street style is everything. And her physique also matches with mine. So if you want to style yourself, look for maybe an icon that also matches your physique and start working towards that.
Yeah. There's also something else we can talk about, which is like you being you have done this for quite a while. I would also like you to talk to other models for just things to watch out, like the issue that you have brought about of having an agency. I think that's something guys can learn from you. So I just want you, for the things that you have noticed while you have been in the industry for quite a while, things that you can just warn guys against. Don't try this, make sure you do this. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, anytime you want to approach an agent or an agency, you have to be very well-mannered and polite. So approach them in a very good manner and polite. And sometimes this is about being scouted. Let me first of all start with that. Because once you're scouted, you're going to be placed in an agency, and that agency is going to cater for all your other needs. And this is in high fashion. I also haven't talked about pageantry. You'll give me some time to talk about that. But if you're talking about high fashion, you need to be very polite when you're approaching a person. And because they're going to ask some several things, they're going to ask for your Polaroids for you to be able to send them in. So make sure that you already have them before you approach any agency. Because the next question that they're going to have, what are your measurements? You need to know your measurements, you need to have your Polaroids there, so that whenever they ask for them, you can be able to send in directly. Then you're not going to just sit down and wait for agencies to approach you. Well, it does happen, especially in social medias. Once you post your pictures there, it becomes like a profile, and the agencies that are going to approach you straight from there, wanting to sign you, right? But before you get there, it is good for you to approach these agencies. Approach them in a well manner. Hi, I'm this and this from this country, this tall. Put down your statistics and send in your Polaroids. If they're good, if that's what they're looking for, they're going to get back to you. And do not get tired of sending them out. Once you send them out or across the board, someone is going to notice you, someone is going to see you. Then when it comes to building your portfolio, I know some of you or some of the models might not have pictures to showcase any work they have done, especially here in Kenya. That's a big deal. What brands have you worked with? What can you do? Do you have anything to show for it? So I'm going to tell you to approach brands. First of all, pay for your own pictures. Look for if you don't have the good clothes that you think will complement your body, look for a stylist, pay them. Look for a makeup artist, pay them, go take pictures and start from there. Once you have pictures, you can approach other photographers and makeup artists or hairdressers or designers or stylists, requesting them to collaborate with you. Through those collaborations, you are going to get an opportunity to build more on your Polaroids. Then once you start doing that, you go for auditions. When you go for auditions, bring in your A game. Carry the right heels, practice your walk. Go there, bring your A game. And when you're there, if you're going to get chosen or not, make sure that you make connections with other people, take other models' contacts, take the designers' contacts who are there, take the people who are interviewing you, their contacts, if they are approachable, take their contacts so that you can build that community of modeling, and you can be able to get more advertisements of jobs that are out there. With all these contacts, you're never going to be able to see those jobs. So take the number of people, join the groups, the modelings that are there. And anytime a job is posted, follow up, send those pictures and any other thing that you need to do or what they request you to do it. So once you do that, anytime you go to any event, anytime you hear an event, a modeling event, it is usually good for you to show up. Make sure that you're well styled or well dressed. Show up to that event. Hata kama you're not necessarily going to take part in it, show up. Make contact with those people. Again, it will help you. It's for your own good. Yeah. If you see an agency is not helping you, perhaps you have been in an agency for 2 years plus, but they have not been able to assist you in any way, I would advise that you terminate your contract or just wait until the time that your contract is over, then try to new agency so that you can be able to build yourself, because some of these agencies will waste you if you just continue sitting down and you're doing nothing. And hard work pays. Personally, I got signed to 2 agencies, but during COVID, my contract was terminated, got finished. So right now, I'm at a process of either looking for other agencies or knowing how I can be able to go out country to continue pursuing my international modeling. Yeah, that's
You
all
wanted
about high.
you wanted to talk about these pageants, and as for an outsider, for us, we see maybe a certain model has won these pageants, and then there's a lot of controversy that it was not fair and this and that. So I don't know if you have ever been caught up in that crossfire. I don't know. You can just talk about it.
So for pageantry, I'm sorry, pageantry, I cannot really be able to talk about it in depth, but I can give you what I know from the research that I have done and the models that I've been able to interact with. So these pageants, the specifications are not as high fashion modeling. They might need someone who's taller, 5'7" and above, and also the size doesn't really matter. They might just say petite, or it just doesn't really matter that much as it does in high fashion. Then in pageantry, it's about your personality, the person that you are. You have to be charming, charming, talkative, outgoing, smile often. And when you are competing for a crown, there are going to be specific questions that they will ask you. You have to be able to know the answer to those questions. You have to be able to have a figure that is toned for maybe bikini wear, because they usually do that. There are specific things that are required in this pageantry, like gowns. You have to be wearing gowns. Even if you are applying, they might also ask you to send in pictures where you are wearing gowns and bikinis and stuff. So you need to be prepared for that. Then pageantry can take you places. In fact, it can be even your lure into joining high fashion modeling. And I'll talk about, for instance, our former Miss Universe. Sorry, I have a cold. Sorry.
Okay.
Our former Miss Universe, Stacy Michuki. Stacy, she always loved her fashion modeling. And it was even seen when she was contesting for the Miss Universe pageantry. She used that platform to go international. She started from there. She got the crown of Miss Universe. It took her places. And after that, she didn't sleep on that crown. She was able to get signed by international agencies. Right now, she's in London. The next day, you'll see her in Paris. The next day, you'll see her in other places pursuing international modeling. So, for anyone who's wondering where maybe they can be able to start, even in high fashion, you can start with pageantry as it becomes your leeway into high fashion modeling. Yeah, I do not know a lot of things about pageantry, but that is what I have to say about it.
Yeah, so as we are finishing up, I would just like to, if you can give some advice to guys who are starting out. Yeah.
So the advice that I can give is this: don't give up. If this is your passion, then pursue it. If it's not, it's going to frustrate you, because sometimes modeling doesn't pay. At times it does. And when it does, it's a good deal. So yeah, start out and watch out for red flags, what I can call red flags, the people who will just want to use you and not pay you. So you need to watch out for such people. And you should be able as well to differentiate between a high fashion model, a pageant model, parts model, as I had talked about. You need to also differentiate between a socialite and a model. You know, many people nowadays associate socialites with modeling. It is not. That's a socialite. They are there to advertise their lifestyle. That's not a model. And then there is Instagram models. People think as long as you take good pictures, they can be models. You can't. There's a lot of work that is put behind the scenes of you becoming as glamorous as you would look. People think you can just stand in front of a camera and deliver. It's not that easy. There are people who have been thrown out of the set because they cannot be able to deliver. They cannot be able to take the pictures that the client wants. So you need to be flexible in your mentality. If it's a street shoot, you should be able to know how to pose for street shoots. If it's glamorous, then you need to know how to structure your face, your angles, the angles of your face, to be able to deliver exactly what it is that the client requires. So be flexible, be nice, look out for red flags, and most importantly, continue sending out your portfolios, your Polaroids. Send them out. You never know who's watching, and never stop being you. Don't be someone else so that you can be able to please other people. Be you and let them love you for who you are. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving us your time.
And thank you too for having me.
Welcome.